The Samsung S25 ULTRA, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, let's put them head to head, the two best smartphones in the world, and spoiler alert, the results are going to shock you. So both these phones come with a bunch of special features that really set them apart. Like the most obvious one is the S Pen on the Samsung, which has been around for 14 years. Not everyone uses it, but it is still cool to have even if it has had a bit of a downgrade. Then there's Samsung DeX, which essentially turns the Samsung into a computer with just an HDMI connection to a TV or monitor. It also comes with secure folder to hide files, documents, videos. You guys know, all that sneaky sensitive stuff. And something I still haven't seen on iPhones is wireless battery share. That turned your Samsung into a wireless charging pad. Come to think of it, they've also had this for years. Then you can also multitask like a beast with Samsung using split screen mode or advanced multitasking windows. Plus, its real-time call translation feature is just mind-blowing. Especially when you get calls from, say, someone who doesn't speak your language. Oh, and also, let's not forget, if you tap and hold down onto any video, it'll slow it down, which is pretty cool. Am I right? But the iPhone 16 Pro Max does have its own bunch of exclusive features, like a dedicated button for the camera, which is used to control a bunch of its features, kind of like on a professional camera. You can also easily lock apps on iPhone, which surprisingly is missing from Samsung. And although the dynamic island is kinda in the way, there's a lot of cool things you can do with it, like control your music, check out your timers, and a bunch of other live activities. Then there's Name Drop, which works by bumping two iPhones together to quickly share files and contact info. Wow. And if you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's also Satellite SOS, where you can call for help and potentially save your life, as well as car crash detection, which has saved lives. So both these phones have some awesome special features, but the S25 Ultras just feel a lot more practical, so it gets the first point. And to spice things up, I'll switch to whoever wins this showdown. What? So here are two picks I took, one with Samsung and the other with iPhone. Let's see if you guys can guess which one is which. But before I show you, the first thing I'll actually compare is video, because both these bad boys can shoot in 4K slow-mo, which Samsung came up with first, but even though Samsung's had it for longer, you'll notice there isn't that big of a difference, even when you zoom in. Like, both phones are basically identical in quality. But where you will notice a difference is that the S25 Ultra can now shoot in 8K log, whereas the iPhone can only shoot in 4K log. And how log works is it's basically a video mode specifically made for cinema cameras to shoot Hollywood movies. And the video might look very desaturated at first, but that's because this way it can pick up a lot more detail. So once you edit the color back in, it should look much better. And as you can see, Samsung seems to struggle with low light, but iPhone did a really good job. As for normal video, both these phones again look pretty identical. Historically, iPhone's video is much better though, but in this case, Samsung's caught up. Photos, on the other hand, is usually where Samsung is better than iPhone. And with the S25 Ultra, we get a brand new 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera, whereas the iPhone has a 48 megapixel ultra-wide. But all in all, you don't actually see that much of a difference in quality and sharpness, except for color. And the same goes for the 200 megapixel camera on the Samsung against the 48 megapixel on the iPhone. Like, there isn't that much of a difference. Okay, now let's see if you guys got this right. The left is iPhone and the right is Samsung. Selfies is usually where Samsung kind of disappoints me because of skin tone, but damn, these look great. Honestly, even though Samsung has added 8K log, improved its portrait mode, and even the camera interface, I still think that the iPhone's quality is just better. Now onto these massive screens that actually had tiny updates. I really do mean tiny, like literally a 0.1-inch update. So from 6.8 inches to 6.9. Yeah, that's it. So while they're equally as big, it is just better to watch videos on Samsung because it doesn't have a massive cutout like on the iPhone, and they're also equally as thin, so not much competition there. But they do have different screen resolutions. Aha! So although you won't see a huge